Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that touches every shopper's wallet. Why Walmart says it has to raise prices, how that will affect your grocery bill and daily essentials, and how President Trump publicly responded. Let's break it all down step by step. First off, on May 15th, Walmart CFO John David Rainey told investors that soaring import duties are simply too big for the company to swallow on its own. He explained that while Walmart can manage the usual 2-3% annual cost increases, a sudden 30% tariff on many goods coming from China creates a shock no retailer is equipped to absorb entirely. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon reinforced that message, saying they will do everything possible to keep prices low, but with margins already razor thin, they can't cover such steep new costs without passing some on to customers. So what exactly are these tariffs? Think of them as extra taxes slapped on products at the border. Until recently, Chinese imports faced levies as high as 145%. After a round of negotiations, that rate was temporarily cut to 30%, but 30% is still massively higher than the normal inflation-linked increases retailers handle each year. When you add 30% to the landed cost of a product, even Walmart's scale and negotiating power can't fully mitigate the difference. Walmart has vowed to shield core groceries, promising not to hike prices on staples like bananas, avocados, and coffee. But in categories such as electronics, children's gear, small appliances, and everyday accessories, price tags will climb. For instance, a $350 car seat could see an extra $800 in duties alone. You may also notice higher costs on phone chargers, headphones, toys, and home office supplies. Once Walmart made its announcement, President Trump jumped on social media to rebuke the retailer. He insisted Walmart should eat the tariffs rather than shift them to shoppers, and reminded everyone that the company pulled in $681 billion in revenue and $170 billion in gross profit last year. In his view, Walmart can afford to sacrifice some profit to support American trade policy. But experts point out that whoever formally pays the tariff at the border, the ultimate cost ends up in consumer prices. There's no magic firewall. Retailers factor those taxes into their overall cost base. Walmart's move sends shockwaves throughout retail. Smaller chains with far thinner margins have no choice but to raise prices if Walmart does, creating a domino effect across the industry. We've already seen retail spending slow down in recent months, even as inflation remains elevated, which suggests consumers are tightening their belts just as everyday expenses rise. Looking ahead, the tariff truce between the US and China sets a 90-day pause, lowering that 145% rate to 30% for now. But that agreement is temporary, and broader tariffs on products from Mexico, Canada, steel, aluminum, and potentially pharmaceuticals remain in place. Unless a long-term deal is reached, shoppers will likely feel ongoing pressure at checkout. So what can you do as a consumer? First, track your usual grocery and household item prices closely. Keep your receipts and compare week to week. Second, look for bulk to buy or group of buy opportunities with friends or neighbors to reduce unit costs. Third, take advantage of coupons, loyalty program deals, and cashback apps. Finally, build a flexible budget that cushions you against sudden spikes in essentials. To recap, Walmart has announced price increases because new import tariffs have surged to 30%, well beyond normal cost increases they can absorb. President Trump publicly challenged them to eat the tariffs, but the economic reality is those duties inevitably push prices higher for shoppers. In the coming weeks and months, expect to see higher tags on electronics, children's products, and many non-grocery essentials, even as Walmart tries to hold the line on staples. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive. If you found it helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss future updates on how trade policy and retail shifts affect your wallet. I'll see you next time.